So guys, today I'm going to talk about my home lab setup for NSXV. So as you can see on the screen, I have one ESXi host on which I'm running vCenter and NSXV Manager. There's one more on which I'm running my compute nodes and the NSX Edge, as well as one router, which is the aggregating point for all my nested ESX. So if I show you my VMware workstation, which where I'm running all this ESXi host. This is the one, and this is another one where I'm running my vCenter and NSXV. I'm also running one DNS server. This is basically the Ubuntu VM where I'm running bind. So let me show you. This is where I have all my A records, right? And these are the IP addresses of my ESX nested host, right? And I have one app website which I have kept it for the testing purpose. This is the vCenter and NSXV IP addresses basically, right? And uh, I'm also running the NTP over here, but I'm not using it. I'm using time.google.com. This is my outside router basically, right? And if I show you, this is that router where this is the VYOS router, and I have a default route pointing towards my NAT interface of the VMware workstation to go outside. So you can see I'm able to ping outside world. All right. And uh, I have one more router that I was showing you that is inside my SXI, right? And so this is where my default route is pointing to the external router, as well as I am learning few of the BGP routes from my ESG. And these are my VLANs, which are connected to my ESX, nested ESX. So you can see this IP address to which the ESG is making a eBGP peer with, as well as this VLAN 50, which is my controller, uh, to which my controller is connected. Right, so now let me go to my vCenter. So everything is already installed here. Let me show you my installation. So I have the NSX manager, which is already integrated. I have one controller here, mm, and I have already prepped all my hosts. I'm running two clusters, one for my compute node, one for my NSX edges. I have the range for my logical segment, the VNIs, starting with 5000 to 5099. Quite an amount of logical segments here, one for web, one for DB, one for your transit segment that is connecting my DLR and ESG. And I'm also running one more transit segment to make it a DMZ where my load balancer is connected. So if I look at my NSX Edge, I have these are the control VMs, one for your DLR, one for your ESG, one for your load balancer that is acting as one armed mode. So if I look at to my ESG here, I'm running BGP, and these are my two peers. One is going to my router, one is going to my DLR. And then I have netting configured over here. We have an SNAT and DNAT, right? As you can see, my website, which is resolved to this IP address, is then translated to 192.168.254.254, right? And I have some bunch of rules here for firewalls, right? Now, if I go to my DLR, here again, the routing that I have is BGP with my ESG. This is the protocol address, and I'm not running any firewall over here. This is as simple, and I'm also not running any distributed firewalls, right? So, okay, if I go to my load balancer here, so this is the front-end IP address I have, and it is using the application profile as SSL pass-through, right? Which you can see here because my web servers are running SSL, and I just wanted to pass through. I don't have a certificate. I'm not offloading anything. The pools that I have configured here are the two members. One is your web app 1 and app 2, and I'm running the least connection algorithm over here. Service monitoring is kept to default. All right. So if I go to these are the VMs that I have that I was talking about, and these are the control VMs, and this is the controller here. And this is the interface where I have configured the VMware kernel, right? You can do it from here. I have added one VMware kernel over here to which my router is making a eBGP pair with. And this is the management distributed port group for my controller, and this is the trunk, all trunk, which is connected to my routers, right? All right, and if I go further and show you my applications over here. So this is my application, right? And you can see it is resolving to this IP address, right? So let me show you if I can go to my ESG. First of all, let me show you my neighbor relationship, or maybe I do summarized one. So this is the eBGP, this is the IBGP here, and let me show if I see some NAT maps. All right, this is the one I have. To be specific, I can go to DNAT over here. I can see this is natting happening, right? I mean, to show you basically, if I do NS lookup, right, app.techrecipes.com. This is the IP it is getting resolved to, which is then getting DNATed with destination natted with 192.168.254.254, right? And now if I look into my load balancer here, show service load balancer session. I don't see any session here right now. Let me do one more. Let me this time do it in incognito mode. Right. Now let me quickly see here if I am able to build some session over here. Let me do one more. Okay, let me refresh this, right? And let me see. Okay, so I can build two connections. One is going to your app 2, another is going to your app 1, which you can clearly uh, this is the IP address 10.202.0.11 and this one is 0.10. So it is doing the load balancing basically. So let me show you how I have created this web apps basically. And if you can see here, uh, what to do. I'm running NSX here, which is running. And if I show you the configuration that I was talking about, okay, this is all right. Let me put the let me editor nano. So this is my website and it's listening to 443, right? And the app part of it is being handled by PHP. So you can see some bunch of PHP codes over here. All right, there you go. Right, so this is about the web app. Now if I go to the database, which I don't think I have enabled the SSH over here, so let me show you from here. All right, I put the wrong password here. All right, so here I have already opened up. You can see if I connect to my database, which is MySQL, right? And this is the database that I have now, right? This is the table I have, and these are the fields, which again you can see over here. These are the all fields. So this is how it is running here, right? So I think that's it. Thank you.